Parashat Aharei-Mot, Erev Pesach, just before Passover 2022 or 5782. And although this week we read Parashat Aharei-Mot, we read it on the Mincha of last Shabbat, Monday, Thursday. It's all about Parashat Aharei-Mot. But on Shabbat, which is the first day of Passover, of Pesach, we read the reading of Pesach. Then we read the whole week, just the readings of Pesach. And then the Shabbat after the 7th of Pesach in Israel, we read Aharei-Mot. Okay? 2 weeks from now. And more than that, outside Israel, the Shabbat after the 7th of Pesach, that's second day of holiday. So it's still Pesach outside Israel. So Parashat Aharei-Mot is going to be read only a week later. Okay? So we're going to drag Parashat Aharei-Mot for 3 weeks. What's the connection? Because Parashat Aharei-Mot this year, which is a leap year also, Parashat Aharei-Mot is mostly about Yom Kippur. And we are celebrating Pesach. What's the connection? The connection is amazing, and it gives us a very powerful message for what Pesach is about. And more than that, what is the destiny of each one of us? It says in the Zohar of Parashat Aharei-Mot as follows, Zohar Sulam, verse 247. And it says, because Aharei-Mot is about teshuvah, about really coming back to the Creator. בשעה שהאדם היה חוטא לפני אדונו, when a person would be sinning in front of his master, והקריב קורבנו על המזבח, and he would bring his offering on the altar in the temple, והכהן מכפר עליו ומתפלל תפילתו עליו, and the Kohen will pray for him to atone him, מתעוררים הרחמים, the mercies above are awakened by this offering and the prayer. והדינים מתבסמים, and all the judgments are appeased, relaxed. והתשובה שהיא בינה מריקה ברכות, but the teshuvah, which is wrongly translated as repentance, but it is really a returning to connect to the original light of the Creator and the creation, that teshuvah, that sfirat bina, will bring like a fountain of light and blessings down to all the candles, all the sefirot, to light up the soul of the person. And that will cleanse the person from his sins. Now, there are two powerful moments of light in the Hebrew calendar. Yom Kippur, which is rising to the level of Binah, which is so intense. And whoever knows the journey, the Selichot of the month of Elul, and then the 10 days of repentance, Rosh Hashanah, and then again Selichot, waking up early in the morning, a lot of prayers, a lot of meditation, a lot of consciousness work, deep work inside our soul searching. And then Yom Kippur, the fasting, the prayers, and finally you reach this amazing high of illumination. And that cleanses the soul. Let's say, even if you go back to the daily life, you won't remember that illumination that you experienced. And holding to that emotional experience is so precious, because it gives you the power that, human life is destined to enlightenment. That's what I need to feel. That pleasure is the pleasure that I want. When you have that pleasure in mind, and it's inside you, from Yom Kippur, it's much easier through the whole year to overcome all the lust and the aggravations and all the physical bodily emotions. There's something higher than that. Passover, Pesach, is very similar and very different. Similar because there's again a huge amount of light, that all the light that got a whole nation of slaves out of slavery into real, true liberty on one night. And what the Kabbalists are saying they could not go through a process. They were slaves in the darkness of the Egyptian slavery and all the witchcraft of Egypt and the dark magic over there. So they could not go through a process. All of those stages of spiritual enlightenment that you can reach on Yom Kippur came in one evening at the Exodus. Now, the Arizal is explaining to us, Rabbi Zakloria of the 16th century, is explaining to us that the moment that light was so strong, it has been engraved in the universe. Every year, full moon, in the month of Aries, the same light appears. What we have to do is just take it in. And what do we take in? That light of the uppermost spiritual level that a prophet can reach. Every human is entitled and destined for that level of liberty. Liberty from pain, from misery, from death, from any fear, from any lust, from any bodily limitations. That's the real true high. Not the imitation you get with all kinds of chemicals and alcohol or any kinds of extreme experience. This is the real true high from the upper sphere, as we read. And what you have to do is simply prepare yourself. Have the matzah, the maror, the whole Passover night and Pesach. The Kabbalists are saying Pesach is from the word lifsoach. Pesach means to skip. Skip all the levels to the uppermost level of enlightenment. That's what we do, every aspect of the Passover. And like Yom Kippur, the moment you connect to something so powerful and you get excited about it and you feel that amazing high, even though it would not stay for the next day. Okay? The impression you'll have inside your soul and your body will always be there to give you the sense of what is true liberty. Being above, knowing that this is you're destined as a human being, as a spark of God. You were destined. That was the message of liberty of Pesach. The message that every human being is entitled, destined, has no choice. Finally, we all going together. But the moment you experience that feel of high that you get just by doing what the sages said, just read the Haggadah, eat the matzah according to the instructions. Do not eat leavened bread, eat and all of that stuff. You just do it with that consciousness of telling the story of Egypt like you've been there, that you're right now experiencing it again, and you'll get that light from above. You don't have to be righteous. You don't have to be scholar in Kabbalah or in anything. You just have to ask for it, and you'll get it. And with that high that you'll feel will give you the taste of hope, because you know where you're going to. And you know that a human being is a magical creature that is supposed to feel this uttermost high pleasure. And that will make your life so different, because it will change the way you see and you look at life. All the best, and have a great Pesach and Shabbat Shalom.